So these are Affinity notes, and we're starting with the explicit stuff that we're learning from the interviews. These Affinity notes are basically notes that have been put together from the interviews. Come over here and show you what the raw notes. These are just a few of the raw notes we put onto tags, and then we sort the tags basically, and we're working on the directory section, or the yellow pages, the profile section. So we've sorted these right now. It'll end up being much better, much bigger. We're just starting now. But who am I and who I am in general? In other words, what are they willing to say about themselves on this portal, at least initially? What they do? I would describe the projects and programs I'm involved with. For consultants and topic experts, I'd like to see a list of clients that I could call and ask, what did you think of this person? So here, this actually happens to be a foundation person. They'd like to see a list of clients. What's my organization doing? Contact and personal details they'd be willing to reveal. What I've learned, would I write something about what I've learned? What are my areas of expertise or interests? Who am I related with? All that type of thing. So I'm in the process of creating these links and sorts. I'd be willing to explain what we're doing with comprehensive community development as long as it didn't suck up too much time. We're finding from the interviews that people who are most experienced and have the most expertise already get lots of emails and calls. And if this portal causes them to get more emails and calls, they're unlikely to use it, because their day is already filled with uncompensated time. So we've got to figure out how the portal can actually save them time. One idea we may try is if someone who's very experienced or an expert in, let's say someone's an expert in economic development, rather than get 15 phone calls a week or 15 emails, when they call or when they phone, he can just say, all right, go to this link on my profile and you'll see everything I've written on this topic. You'll see links to things I've done. You might see a YouTube video or a lecture I just gave. And if you still have questions after you've done all that stuff, go ahead and give me a call or send me an email.
At what point do you decide to make a group out of them?
Well, often you do this, you start sorting these without any titles at all. So we'll keep adding ones, and if we see that we've had 2, 3, 4 more added on here, we'll look at the characteristics of those and we'll create a new category title and then put all those there. I want to wait until I get more than 2. And I also want to think about how much is this about the whole portal, how much is it about the kind of profile directory section before I decide what to do with it.
Now I noticed that some of the notes here are sideways. Can you explain why that is?
The sideways notes basically contradict the basic note. Normally you would turn them upside down, but we turn them sideways so you can still turn your head and
so
read what you want to. But generally these are 100% negative or counter to what the main thrust of the topic is. We're following an agile, iterative type development, so we'll do one module at a time. We'll hopefully in June we'll release the first beta release to 250 or so beta testers. We'll ask them to completely fill in their profiles, and then maybe after 100 of them have filled in their profiles, we'll then release it to all the rest of the beta testers, and they can come in and start looking at each other. We know that we're going to have Google Maps, so a geographic representation of where people are. We're going to have, if you're at LSNA, you'll be able to see all the other people at LSNA. You'll be able to see people in the collaborators that you work with, all the people in Chicago, people at LIST Chicago who you work with, that type.